Hey YouTube, what's up? Right, this video is going to be a book review. I'd actually did a book review back in 2012 that I did on the Jurassic Park book by Michael Crichton, as you can see. For those of you back here 3 years ago when I did the review, who liked the review and watched it, by the way, thank you very much for watching the video and liking it, by the way. I really appreciate it, guys. So I thought, well, it's been a long time since I did another video on YouTube, so I thought, well, where do I go from here? Maybe I do another review. So I thought, well, why not better, since the Jurassic World upcoming movie is coming out in a couple of weeks' time, which I'm definitely looking forward to seeing. I thought it's only fair if I review the second Jurassic Park book, being The Lost World, also by Michael Crichton. Now, for those of you who you might be aware, this book is also like the first Jurassic Park movie, based off this book, and a lot of people. I'd like to point out as well, this the movie based off this book is very loosely based. It's actually, if you watched the movie and if you have read this book, you'd think, did this really come from this book? Because it is completely different. Unlike the first Jurassic Park film, which was very different, it still had the same general story, but this is very different from the Lost World Jurassic Park movie that came out in 1997 by Spielberg. This book was actually written 2 years before the Lost World came out in 1995. Okay, so this book centres around, before I begin with the plot, I'd like to say this is a very good book. I would even say that this is as good as the first Jurassic Park book. If I were to give this book out of 10, I'd definitely give it a 9.5, my personal rating. Although, to be fair, I've always liked Crichton's book. I pretty much own every single book he's written, which at the end of this review I will show you some of the books that I own also by him. He was a great author. And actually, the Jurassic Park books were actually what got me into novels in the first place. So I kind of owe that book for getting me into books in the first place. So, okay then. But anyway, this book, The Lost World, is the sequel to the Jurassic Park book. And frankly, this is the only sequel that Michael Crichton has ever written, which is quite strange, right? Because he never wrote any other sequels to any of his other books. Okay, but this book centres around a guy called Richard Levine, who is a paleontologist, and he hears about an island that exists off the coast of Costa Rica where these strange animals live, and he's keen to explore the island to find out if these rumours are actually true. And he is apparently a good friend of Malcolm's. Malcolm is the only really returning character in this book who came from the first one, unless you count Lewis Dodgson as well, which you should. Although in the book Lewis Dodgson has a bigger role in this than he did in the first book. Anyway, Malcolm is presumed dead by a lot of people because of the incident in the first book, and Levine tells him about the island, that he thinks that there might be extinct species living on it. Malcolm, of course, is sceptical and very unsure about this, but Levine is very keen to prove otherwise. So Levine actually goes with a guide to the island and actually gets lost on the island and has to fend for himself. Then they do find out, Malcolm and some other people, like he's with a guy called Thorne, Eddie Carr, who was also in the movie, and also there's these two school kids in the book as well who actually worked for Levine when they were in school days, and they do find out that this island that he's gone to explore is infested with dinosaurs, and they actually go to the island to rescue him, unlike in the movie where Malcolm actually realises it's his girlfriend that's trapped on the island. So that's a big difference between the book Spoiler alert, by the way. Anyway, they go to the island to rescue Levine. Also, unbeknownst to them, Biosyn, the rival genetics company of InGen, run by Lewis Dodgson, he's keen. He wants to go to the island as well because he has a plan up his sleeve, which includes getting fertilized dinosaur eggs so that they can use dinosaurs for animal testing. So it seems less cruel if they do it with dinosaurs than they do with dogs and other small creatures. So they go there, and of course their plan goes horribly wrong, which in a lot of these things like this happen. And then basically it's Site B is the island that is in this book. It's actually the island where the first Jurassic Park would sort of, if you'd like to say, it all began, by the way, because in this book Site B was the island where they actually bred the dinosaurs and nurtured them there for a bit before they actually shipped them over to the park, being Site A, Isla Nublar. So this island, Site B, known as Isla Sorna in this book, is actually, I would call it the research facility where they actually did all the work and the starting of Jurassic Park, you could say. It's pretty much where the origin of Jurassic Park started. But yeah, I definitely recommend this book. Actually, like the first book, this is very detailed and actually pretty dark in places, pretty gory and violent in some parts as well, unlike the movies, which did have their scary moments. But this goes beyond that, I think, personally, like the first book. Anyway, guys, definitely check out this book, if you haven't already read it, and the same with the first Jurassic Park book. This is definitely a book you should pick up and read, or even if you're going on holiday somewhere, I would definitely recommend this as a holiday book. It's very entertaining as well. Thank you guys for watching this video, and of course soon, if you'd like me to upload any more reviews, I will be happy to do so, especially even if you want me to review any more of Michael Crichton's books. Thank you very much, guys. See you later.